This is Natalie McLean's book, Unquenchable. I have to say, millions of people follow Natalie's wine tips. Millions of people around the world. And when she wrote the first chapter of the book, she had to start with a conversation with you, Mr. Blass.
Unquestionable, unquenchable, absolutely perfect. Natalie did a very good interviewing process, and there's a lot of stuff in there which I didn't know about myself.
Well, here you are. Your book ended. You're surrounded by women, which has been the story of your life. Natalie, you couldn't resist.
I couldn't, because to me, a book about wine, you know, the wine has to be good, but the person behind it has to be great, has to be colorful, because I think we learn about wine best when we're listening to a story. We get wrapped up into it, and Wolf has just so many great stories to tell.
Well, you said that people really thought that he was sort of like the Duncan Hines or the Betty Crocker, this imaginary person behind this incredible wine, but he's very real.
Absolutely, he is. It is hard to confuse sometimes the man and the brand, but he's larger than life, but in a great way, because he is a great ambassador for his wines. I guess I should have said, though, Johnny Walker, not Betty Crocker. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Now, what we should say is this elegant lassie is of Scottish descent, so you say that you cannot help yourself. It's in your DNA to do what, Natalie?
Oh, yes, well, drink, if that's what you... Is that the question? I have a Teflon liver.
I meant to actually really look for price and quality.
Oh, yes, right. Okay, that one. Yes, got it. Price-quality ratio. What you get in the bottle for what you pay is pretty incredible, and that's what I look for. That's why the subtitle of my book is A Tipsy Quest for the World's Best Bargain Wines.
Which is been launched, and it will be launched tonight in paperback. There's an event. You will be the main draw. You're both the main draw tonight at 18. But because it's sold out, we wanted you to have a chance to spend time with Mr. Blass and Natalie today. So this is a chance to educate our viewers on what they should know about what they're pouring into their glass.
First of all, I think we're going to go to its value for money. And the color combinations are actually based on pricing on the retail level. So yellow label and red label on the lower end, and when we're going to get up to the gray label, it's a higher quality standard. The black label is the benchmark of Wolf Blass wines, and the platinum is the ultimate. So the pricing structure is also being guided by the color combinations. And you start off on the bottom, and depending on your income, you go up from $15, $16 right up to close to $200 a bottle. And there's nothing wrong with that one.
So I'm guessing which you drink.
I prefer the grey label because I can drink it by myself. Sometimes I'm very miserable. I give one glass my wife and I drink the rest. But this is my favorite drink. The grey label is something you can drink yourself without having any other people or friends around with you.
Your most recent wife, I must say, she certainly is tenacious. Yeah. She may be as tenacious in life as you have been in business. How's that for a description?
Absolutely. Yeah, she should have her own label, don't you think, Wolf?
Yes, but that would be complicated because she wouldn't share the income.
Oh, I see. There's another whole show here, I can tell. But what we wanted to take a little bit of an opportunity to do is to educate on the region in Australia, which is, I guess, closest to Adelaide.
Right, the Barossa.
Called the
Barossa Valley. I think it's home to the world's greatest Shirazes. I mean, it's got the climate. Wolf knows far more about this, but, you know, the soils, everything comes together, that happy confluence of all the factors that make great wine. So you've got the concentration, the richness, the flavor, and yet it is easy to drink. It goes down slippery fast.
Slippery fast. Is there room for that on the label?
Yeah, I'm not too sure slippery fast, but it is very important that we retain the same vineyards and the same production system to each variety which we are putting into the bottle. And South Australia is the wine state. 55% is made in the state of South Australia. However, all our vineyards are all around Australia because of the complexity of the company.
One element that we didn't share with you on camera that you mentioned to me a little bit earlier, Mr. Blass, which I found fascinating, is when you left Germany, there was a chance you might have ended up in Canada, but instead you went to Australia. Would you have still worked hard to build a wine empire here in Canada?
I'm not so quite sure which way it would have gone, but I would have definitely enjoyed your snow, and I would have loved snowing. That would have been one advantage versus hot sunshine in Australia.
He's bitter that there isn't hockey right now. But what I wanted to also just ask you, you're very pleased with what's happening in terms of Canada. Even though there's competition, you're happy to see what's happening
yes,
with the Canadian
I'm absolutely delighted. What I saw 25, 30 years ago, going down to the Niagara waterfall, there was 5 companies. Now you get 45, 50. You have won the best Chardonnay in the international world competition 2 years ago, and 3 years ago you have won the best Shiraz in the world competition. So you're spot on, and you're producing 30% of your own products, which is unbelievable, and you make the best ice wine in the world.
Whoa, there we go. That was quite an endorsement. And you can read about all of the sorts of things that Mr. Blass just mentioned regularly in Nat DeCamps, which is Natalie's blog. But you can also pick up her book, which is now out in paperback. Are you just waiting for it to arrive from the printers?
Yes, absolutely. It's coming soon, and yeah, on nataliemclean.com, you can pre-order it as well.
Natalie, one word, because we're almost out of time. I mean, you have a one-word title, unquenchable. What word would you use to describe Mr. Blass?
One of his own, unforgettable.
There we go. On that note, we'll say thank you very much and so long.
And I mentioned her, she's unquenchable.